Alrighty, hey everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Put my monster back in the right spot there. Welcome everybody. Strawberry Dream, one of my favorite flavors. Goose, Infinity, Rex, Gaten, Wade, Steven, Don, Thelma, Eric Donald, Merle, Rob, Sergio. Welcome everybody. I do appreciate seeing all the same names all the time. I do. It just your support. It just means the world to me. I just want to thank everybody for coming and being here live with me. Mark, Dan, Arturo, Mark, Mark and Mark, Robert, Kay, Bob, Craig, Diane, Larry, Helen, Gary, John, Mary, War Dog, Philip. Good morning, everybody. We've got Jerome Powell coming up right after the market opens here. Well, not like the moment, but about 10 o'clock. Philip Svinborn, good to see everybody. And dun, 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 dun. Let's just, let's just start jumping into it, shall we? All trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. That means I predict some stuff. Sometimes it comes true. Sometimes it doesn't. It's not necessarily indicative that I'm always going to get it right or that I get it right more than not, even though that'll be a big giant bummer because that's kind of how this whole thing works. But the presentation is intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining. Not a recommendation to be buying or selling any stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries, or things from gurus. Don't long them, don't short them, don't trade them, don't buy stuff. Don't do it, all right? Unless you trust them, unless you know you got a system, because all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. The first sentence there. If you desire that personal financial advice, you need somebody to tell you how to push the buttons. It's not what I do. Apparently, there's been some confusion on why I can't do that. I operate under what's called a publisher's exemption. I can publish my stuff. That's why it's entertainment. I mean, let's be honest. You got lots of things you can watch. What I do is entertaining. Sometimes you can follow along, copy what I'm doing, or do something similar and make some money because I tend to get it right more than I get it wrong. But there's a substantial risk of loss. And if you don't know how to make your own decisions, you may take a large loss. And if you need somebody to be telling you what to do, please stay in paper trading or hire and consult somebody that is certified to be telling you what to do. That's not what I do. Most people that do what I do are not certified to be telling you what to do. And if you copy them, you're probably going to lose money. I'm just throwing that out there. There seems to be some confusion on that the last couple weeks. Anyway, right here, Friday, April 23rd. Dun, 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 dun. Right here. Oh man, we got a whole. They've lined up a whole set of them today. Look at this. They've already got them speaking here. Bostic speaking at 9. We've got Fed Chair Powell speaking at 10. We got new home sales jumping in there. Got more FOMC members. Got the Jackson Hole Symposium. We got Goolsby. Goolsby. So we've got this going on all day long while the market's open. Should be a volatile day. And I have no idea. I don't know what kind of laptop you got. I've got my sound maxed out. It's cranking out at 0 dB. So it's cranked up to the max. There's no positive on mine. Anyway, if you know anything about audio, it's all in negative dBs. Gabagool, yeah. Goolsby, I guess is the name right there. He's going to be speaking a bunch, it looks like, over and over and over. So, and then we have the symposium wrapping up over the weekend. Wow. So this is the last day of the week. Holy moly. Next week is the last week of August. Jiminy Christmas, where did August go? Seems like we just started August. Now we're already done. Well, next week, looking at, just rolling forward to next week. Monday, benign. Tuesday, got some red events. We got some consumer confidence right there. Got some Richmond manufacturing. That's at 10 after the market opens, not before. And Wednesday, benign. Got some crude oil inventory that may cause a little move in the crude market. Thursday, next week, 8:30 in the morning before the market opens, we get some GDP. Right there, preliminary price index. that could be a market mover. Pending home sales, nat gas. Rolling on down Friday. Another relatively benign, but we're getting that PCE right there. Relatively benign, but we get the PCE. Does it conflict with the CPI, or is it basically in line? You tell me. Well, we'll see. I kind of expect it to be running in line. That's the narrative they've been pushing. Although, with the big jobs correction 2 days ago, I don't know. Maybe they're going to fix the numbers back to the truth. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. All right. There you go. All right. I'm just sitting there like, man, what if they fix the numbers? that I hadn't thought about that till just then when I said it. I was like, what if they were to tell the truth? What if? Hey, all of a sudden inflation is like 11%. Holy beep. Yeah, right. That would just be wild, wouldn't it, though? Wouldn't it? Like, if they told the truth, what inflation really was and what the jobs really were? I mean, I tell you. All right. Welcome to the show, everybody. I have a bonus trade coming up at the end of the show. So stick around to the end. And as always, I give my bias for the day and kind of what I expect. My daily plan right at the end. So if you drop off, you might miss that. So make sure you stick around to the end. All right. And, well, let's make sure I got the right juice listed, right stuff pulled up here today. And here we go. We had a nice fat pullback. Doesn't that look oddly reminiscent of what I said? I thought we would get up just a little higher before we did that, but doesn't that look exactly like that thing I drew? Like that? Isn't that oddly reminiscent right there of coming back to test this? I don't know. Sometimes I get lucky. I kind of expected it to happen from a little up here. I mean, right up there. I thought we would get a little closer, but we did it yesterday. That sets the stage for the rally. Now, upside resistance right there, and right there. Got that level, and we got that level. And then if we get really lucky, or if the market gets really excited, right there, 6,000. That's the level I've been talking about since the bottom back in 2022. That'd be a wild level. Absolutely wild level. Absolutely. Let's just, this correction right here, it was pretty deep, pretty good. I mean, it lasted like a good long while. It was the weekly chart, right? Weekly roadmap bounce, higher time frame. Took us from January through October. And it sets the stage that we could, we're getting up here to extensions like this 5,800. That might be playing it out right there. I'm just throwing it out there, right? Look what we did. I mean, ignore all these other lines I've got on here. Let's turn these off for a second. Look what we did. Came down, bounced, broke above the 618. Didn't quite get the higher. Retraced. Came up. Nice solid run right up to the 1272. Retrace. Pushing out. Came up just shy of the 1618. Pulling back. And now we're going for it. Going for it. Now, we could go for it on up to 7,000. We could. I don't know. I've been looking for this. We may get a little overexcited and actually hit 6,000. Just a little on the upside. I commonly hold that these are zones right here. Now, you'd be like, well, what happened last time? Last time we went down and hit the weekly roadmap line. Just a little more than the 1618. And then back to it. We tend to get a little overexcited, all right? That tends to be the pattern. Tends to be the pattern. What happened time before that? 1618. Just a little past it. Back to the roadmap line. This is why I keep warning we're close to a top. We got here really fast this time. But that 1618 zone, we're coming up on it. We're due for coming back here, if not getting a bigger correction. All right, it's just a matter of how much time do we got left on this. Look at this one. Nope, drawing a fib line. Must have clicked it there in between. Look how long it's been since we've been back to the monthly. That one took that many years to. Like we started that correction over here, didn't finish it till there. Took a few years. Didn't seem like it was a correction the whole time, but it was when you zoom out and look at this. Big move up, didn't touch the roadmap line, came back and touched it. Now we're at the next big move up. Guess what? Probably coming back to touch it, if not something a little bigger, a little deeper. That's why I think our time is limited here. See where we got to on this move. Extra excited all the way up to the 2618. That's that 6,000 level right there. Yeah, baby. Right there. That's where 6,000 really comes from. That's why I've been expecting 6,000. All the way back there, that correction that took years. We may go into another years-long correction. All right. There you go. There you go. I mean, I got you, Dawn. I got you. If you can't work the buttons on your computer, well, what makes you think you should ever trade? Oh, goodness. Anyway, everybody clear on that? Everybody clear on that? Everybody understand kind of the big picture? We might be in the last throws here. This is why this is so important. Why these support levels. You got to watch them. I do expect us to kind of hold in here and go higher. So, ES overnight. Hey, rally on, baby. Rally on, Wayne. Rally on, Garth. Let's go higher. 58.12. Possibly 5,900. Possibly 6,100. Let's go up. Let's go up. So that may be the 1 day correction, and we're set to go higher. In Q, hey, there's the market open. In Q, same situation, just not quite the same levels. In Q is lagging. Russell, this is the question mark here. If Russell busts through, we may actually see it rally up to 2370, but I seriously doubt it makes a higher high. I don't think we're going higher than this high right back here. I don't think it's happening. Don't think it's happening. It might happen, but I don't think it's happening. It's not a high probability thing at this moment. We'll probably stall out and come up just shy and then burn it down. I am not on shorts on Russell at the moment. Just waiting. I think ES and NQ are going to push out to new highs before Russell tops again. So I did cash him out on that last pullback, and I'm just sitting waiting. So I made some fairly good plays on that pullback. Fairly good plays. And we've got CL. Oh, big faker. Trying to push out of this watermelon seed squeeze. Nope. Probably going to go back up, retest the top again. I don't think it's going anywhere yet. That doesn't look like a fake out and a breakout. That looks like we're just going to continue in this. I mean, come on. The expectation is we just finish filling out this for now. All right. If it stays in here, it's a coin flip for the election. If it breaks out, that probably means the incumbent's going to lose. And if we break down, the incumbent probably wins. I'm thinking they may keep it in a coin flip. GC, gold. Everybody's favorite, yellow shiny metal. Coming back strongly after the retrace. Ooh, that tried to break down. Now it's trying to take it right back up. I'd like to see that rally very strongly back up to new highs. Let's check out silver. Little minor correction, and we may... This may be in for a surprising rip. Kind of seen this setup in gold and silver before. I want to caution you. We may see a giant rip higher. We might. If we get above this 30, maybe 30-50 area, I don't think silver's coming back. It could go on a mega run here pretty quickly. GC might do a sympathy. Like if silver starts running, we might see this a sympathy extension up to 2,700 on gold. That would just be an insane amount of money added to the market cap of gold. When you do the numbers, just absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. And it's just all in the micro stuff. Like all the small time frame charts just all add up to, it looks like it's about to rip. I mean, I can't like sit here and go through every one of them. That's not the point of this show right here. But Bitcoin, look at that. Look how well it's respected that. There, right there, right there. If we get through, this thing's probably not looking back either. I would love to see it. That is, it's basically one of my favorite patterns right there. I look for two patterns that I just really, really like in the markets, and that went a little deeper than was on the screen. We came down, just kind of glanced the 50%, which is the kind of the minimum requirement for what I call a measured bounce. 618 is the ideal spot, and the 786 is like the maximum I'm willing to accept. So this is like a zone right here for a measured bounce. 618 being the ideal level to touch, but hey, I'll take it. If we're only going to do a 50 right there. I'm sloppy on these fibs today. All right. And that leaves us 3-point tool. That move, that move, that move. Potential for 75, possibly 82. And I like the 82 because it sits with the bigger picture number 82 right here. This pullback, this little baby pullback with the extension, both lining up right at that 82. That could go quickly but it's got to break out. It's got to prove we're going to do it. We got to get above this zone right here. Got to get above that to do that. And it may be indicating we're going to go right up here. Now, that may not happen until after this date. After November 24th, 25th, 24th, 25th. After that. Why? November 25th? Because that's 220 days post-halving. As we can see right down here. Right there. 220 bars, 220 days. Bitcoin bars are days because there's no days off. And typically, the consolidation lasts 220 days after halving until we get the real breakout and we're in a confirmed run. Now, that doesn't mean that the run can't start before 220 days. It's just we usually confirm it. So it may be out there. We may start up and not actually break through till out there in November. So just keep your time frame in check on Bitcoin. We still got time to consolidate potentially. ETH USD. I go through all this stuff every day because not everybody tunes in every day. So Ethereum USD. Although if you want the maximum amount of information, come check me out every day. Still looks like it wants to do one more flush. Still, I mean, we're not even close to the roadmap line. We're just stuck right here. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're probably gonna get a fifth down. If I was a guesser, let me flip charts real quick. Let me do something. Nice clean chart. Let me show you this really quickly. That move, that move. Yeah, we could get right down here. Maybe like, why'd you use the fibs all weird? So this is an Elliott wave pattern. I don't usually talk about the Elliott wave patterns on here. What we have cooking is something like this. For those of you who know it and know what I'm talking about, this was potentially the A, the B, and this would be the C right down here, like that. C waves are 5 waves. That would be, and wave 1 and wave 5 tend to be equal. Tend to be. They don't have to be, but they tend to be. That's why taking wave 1, projecting off of 4, gets me the target down here. So this may need a retrace down to 1600. We may get one final flush. It could go fast. It could do it in one day. So just be careful. On Ethereum, right there. I don't know anything about triple threat software. No idea what that is. No clue, Robert. Oh, you're talking about my triple threat trader. It's not software. You're talking about this. It's a day trade system. It's not software. It's an alert system. I was like, dun, dun, dun. And actually, let's see. I have a registration link for that. Let's see if I can find it. If you want to register to know more information, they gave me a registration link. Monday, we're going to be announcing it. I don't think I have any. Yeah, there it is. All right, let me see if I can. Well, he screenshotted it. That's not a way I can copy it. Cool, dude. Let's see. Pin. Do we have pinned messages? Thought I pinned it. I don't see it. That's cool. Man. What good is it if you can't find the freaking pinned messages, huh? Integrations. Where are the pinned messages? Cool. Love it. All right. That dude sent me a screenshot, and I don't think anybody wants to type it in. So let me go over here and see if I can find this freaking thing. There we go. All right. If you want to register to come see information on that right here, you can register. That'll be on Monday. I don't know, whatever time it is. They tell me where to be and when to be and send me calendar invites. I just show up. Like, I don't actually write anything. I create these tools. And check this thing out. I updated this too. Look at that. Now it says the Apollo Smart Algorithm Trade List, which is what it is. We have the Triple Threat Trader Trade List right there. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, Patrick Sledge's been trading it like crazy. Now, my Termite Trading Lab people, they've had access to it since the day it was created. We created it July 10th, right there. 78% win rate, 87% this week. Just crazy, absolute crazy. 49 wins, 7 losses. Even with it took a few losses, took 2 losses yesterday, right there. Anyway, all right, moving on. Dollar chugging, sitting just above that support level. We break it, probably going down to the next one, break that, probably going down to the target that I've been talking about for nearly 2 years now. I've drew that arrow on there early 03, and now we're like a year and a little over a year and a half through the timeline, and I still expect it to go down there eventually. Nikki USD breaking up higher. We break above this, we're probably going cruising 44,000. All clear on Japanese futures coming up as soon as we get above this resistance right there. Got this resistance right there. We're right into it. See, we rejected yesterday, going for it today a little bit. Of course, their market's closed now. We see it push on up 44,000, 46,000 for the next freak out right here. Now, if we reject there, watch out for a deeper correction back into here, possibly even down to here. Could come down in here, 24, 22,000. That'd be a big haircut. All right, stuff that was popping today. So pre-market, I pull things that are moving $2 or more up or down and build a list. And then I go through it and look for opportunities because these are the things that we're showing potential to move today. Workday, maybe that's a measured bounce right there. Maybe. It hadn't met the minimum. It's not the ideal 618, but it met the minimum. So here's the deal. This might be a long time frame. Upside move. Looking for 400 to 600. Right in here. 500 minimum. Let's call it 500. Looking for that right there. Could come up shy of the one extension. Now, if you want to be way more conservative, run the fib lines that way. Take your entry above 270. Book it at 330, 350 right there. But it has the potential and opportunity to go running on up there. Snow. Dun, 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 dun. I thought we might go back down further. Watch for this one to get the extension. 104, 101. Kind of had this bigger target zone. We just kind of glanced the top of it. I thought we might go a little deeper. Down to 90 would be ideal. We hold there and then actually make a reversal. Break back above the roadmap line. That's kind of what I'm waiting for on Snow. FNGU. Little pullback off of that gap. Want to see that rally on through. ROST. Wow. Be careful. That move can end. Now it can extend also. 178, 185, 209. If you're chasing that one, watch for the end of that move. It's going to come back to the daily roadmap line at some point here. I'd be done and moving on. The high probability thing's already done. S&PS struggling at the roadmap line just a little bit. We don't have the actual entry yet. This can close above the 618 here. Above this 569-ish, 560, I guess it's 567 area. And now we've got that little rejection. So I probably want to see it close up at 575 at least. Then we look for 657 on the upside potentially. And I just moved it all. That was super awesome. There we go. Kava. Rocking and rolling. 120 next target up. 150 above that. Meta. Oh, that one's getting close to the target. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Poke up the stick. Do it. Do it. 560. We can get there. CRM. If you're not in meta, you're kind of late to the party. All right. Like the party started back here. Now we're up here. And we're only looking for that little bitty right there. It can still fail. Like any of them can fail. What's possible? Anything's possible. What's probable? Probable we're going to hit 560, but it's also a lower probability we're going to fail. So play the numbers. Control your risk. CRM, I say you're late to the party because your risk reward is skewed. If this thing fails down here, it doesn't fail just returning to the roadmap line. It fails on a lower low. The entry was here. So you'd be getting in late here. You got to be careful. No FOMO, all right? There's always new opportunities. I got a brand new one coming up at the end. You know, this is the bonus trade. Bonus trade at the end. Coming up at the end of the list. All right. CRM. All right. Yeah, I mean, I allocated 1 share for snow because I thought it might go lower. And we don't have a firm reversal set up in snow yet. So CRM got through the roadmap line, retraced. Little baby. This is a little baby market roadmap pattern. It's not going to be, it's going to be too fast for my system to pick up right there. It doesn't like 4-day bounces. It likes moves that are more like in the 20 to 30 day range. Because it'll grab this and be like, oh, there's the low, and that's, yeah, that it has a 40-day window, so it looks at the last 40 days, its last 40 bars, last 40 trading days. It'll look at that window and be like, yeah, that's not a great setup. Too much volatility back here. IX. That high, that low, right there. I've had a couple people tell me they couldn't see the crosshairs very well. Has little dots, and you can zoom it up on YouTube. You can watch it on a bigger screen. You can do all the things, all right? The real point of this show is to rip through and try to find opportunities, not to teach you how to do it. Like, that's not, I mean, you can watch me do it over and over and over and over and over, and then, you know, repetition, you kind of get it. You're not going to really know how to do it until you do it yourself, and your lines match my lines, and you're like, I think I got this. So 126 CRWD. And the real thing is when you know what I'm going to say before I say it. That's when you know you're starting to get this. Right there, resistance. Down here is support. We're kind of hovering under the roadmap line, looking for the breakout. Could this be what it needs to rip? Absolutely. Absolutely. On the non-log scale, this was a measured bounce, which sets the target at 5. Let's call it 520 at the minimum. Possibly as high as 660. That's a big fat target. But yeah, that's the kind of power of this move. It's going to take years to get there. On CRWD, MSTR, if it goes. Like, measured bounces are notoriously like 50-50, all right? They're not the most. They're great for giant moves, for finding giant moves. They're not great for reliability. This market roadmap bounce is great for reliability, but not for giant moves. So it's kind of like two different, you kind of have to balance here. All right. Be careful as that count. You know, that's the only advice I really can give. I mean, it's the only advice that makes sense for a lot of people is be freaking careful with your own money. All right. If you don't understand that, don't freaking trade your own money. Like, it's not really trading advice. That's just life advice. Be careful. Don't be stupid. I mean, you gotta learn. If you don't know what you're doing, learn. All right. I digress. Anyway, this just sitting here while Bitcoin consolidates. This looks ripe for a pop up above the conservative entry and a rip up here. Right, that. I built all these tools for me. I built this thing for me. I built this thing for me. I even built this one for me. And I give people access to them. So MSTR, looking for the rip, but we're just consolidating right on top of the roadmap line, not an indication we're going to move. Coin, IBD put out a hit piece on this. I was like, what's going on? Look, it was just a little article, but they were very, very bearish on this after this candle right here. That one right there, they turned really bearish on this. And that's just inside price action, like right there. That's watermelon seed squeeze type stuff, if you will. We're probably I mean, based on what it's done so far, we're probably going to pop. TSM. Sitting at that resistance. Now that indicated, it tipped the odds that we're going to get continuation right there. It took the buy right there. 72% of the time this works out. Usually lasts about 31 trading days. There you go. Can it still fail? Yeah, it's like, what, 29% of the time it fails? So 70, 30. 70, 30, 70, 30. You tell me. SOXX. That's funny, Goose. SOXX just kind of churning, came up to that 618 level, that resistance. It's something, people say there's magic here when you start seeing it. So I can draw these fib lines. Algo, think about it. If I can draw these fib lines, that means anybody that's creating an algorithm, 80% of trading is run by algorithms. Anybody creating an algorithm can code that high and that low and these fib lines into their code. All right. And they can take action at these spots. Now, commonly it's like, why do some of them look better on log mode and some of them look better on non-log mode? Well, guess what? Not everybody codes the same way. Not everybody writes, there's not one guy that writes all the algorithms, right? Some people prefer log mode. They may write their algorithm respecting log mode. Some people prefer not log mode, and they may write their algorithm in non-log mode. When you run the fibs in log mode, they're slightly different than when you run them in non-log mode. It's like sometimes you have to check both to see which one looks better. It's like CRWD up here. Well, they came up short of the 50 until you put it in log mode, and it hit the 618. That means the algorithms are probably running on log mode because they started buying right on the 618. All right, a lot of people are confused about that, but that's why you got to sometimes check both modes. Right there, there's a little button right over here in the bottom right. It says logarithmic. Looks like an L on TradingView. A lot of other platforms you can do it, and some platforms are more difficult to flip in and out than others. If your platform's worth their salt, it'll have that. If it's not, well, you should use TradingView. It's free. All right, moving on. I just, I thought of how to say that in a more clear and concise way more recently after some of you asked me some questions. And that's kind of why it happens the way it happens. So SMH, hitting the resistance. I skipped a couple. AVGO, consolidating, has the entry already, sets it up. There's the target, 193, SPXL. You haven't really missed AVGO yet. If you want to get a piece of that. SPXL, already on the way, 168 potentially. USD, rejected, has not triggered an entry yet. Going to take a move higher to do that. Same with SMH. Roku, look at that. Crossing the roadmap line, came up short of the target. Came up short of the target. That means it was log mode. Look, log mode it touched, basically touched. That's why sometimes you got to flip back and forth. Use the conservative chart, use the conservative retrace, use the conservative bounce. That one right there. Next resistance. Probably right there at the gap down. Funny enough. May rally up to the gap down, retrace back to the roadmap line before we can bust on through. On Roku. Toyota Motors. That was a potential measured bounce. This one also. Giant upside potential. 375-ish. It's like a double from where we are. Tesla. Trying hard. Trying hard. Tried to break through. Rejected. If we can get through, we're probably going right up here. 300 at least, if not cruising on up. Probably setting the path right here. Give me a measured bounce, and it puts us right in the target that I've held for years at 500 area. I mean, I was looking for 500 back here, and we experienced a big pullback. And now, I mean, 500 may be a low target too. We may go big. There's 500 confirmed again, 600, possibly even like 1,000. But slow your roll. Let's keep it expectations under check here. It's gonna take gonna have to break through this resistance first. NVIDIA. That's lower highs. Be careful. While it is above the 618, we did not break above the gap fill, and it's still in the downtrend of highs. AMAT. Wrong. Getting you excited, but I mean, like it's gotta do the minimum thing to get the bigger thing. So Tesla, we're talking about AMAT sitting on the roadmap line, not showing any kind of enthusiasm for going higher at this point. TECL is trying to break through. I mean, it got the little confirmation that, I mean, did the conservative entry right there, but it does have this little gap down right there, and we kind of rejected off of that. 125. You may be like, well, you can always find something wrong. Yeah, a lot of times I do, and that's why I don't take all the trades. Like I'm very picky on trying to find the best of the best of the best. CCJ popping a little bit on the daily chart. This looks pretty friggin' horrible. I have to admit. It's going to take a move up through the roadmap line, up through the 618 to get up to 60. And that looks pretty rough right there. That could easily break down and go lower. Well, I mean, look, we could retrace the roadmap line. Roadmap line bounce from the bottom and go cruising right down here, 33, 34, 30, maybe even get close to the extensions down here. LABU, 3x leverage on biotech. There's 4 things that don't commonly follow my patterns. One of those being low price stuff, 2 of them being biotech stuff. It's anything the FDA, Food and Drug Administration of the United States, is involved in. Number 3, China stuff. Number 4, leverage stuff. And when you combine 2 things, biotech and leverage, that's what you get right here. So super dangerous. And you wonder, well, what's leverage? Well, anything that says 3x right there, 2x, anything that has ultra in the name, like ultra semiconductors, that's leveraged. Leverage stuff may lead to losses. Just be careful. Cuts both ways. Leverage works for you and leverage works against you. QCOM. I say that all the time, but people play options trying to leverage options as a way to make big gains. And then they get really upset when they take a big loss because the option suddenly drops out in value. If you're using leverage, if you're using options as a leveraged instrument to play the market, you have to understand that leverage cuts both ways. If you don't size your option position for a max loss of going to 0 every time, like what's the worst case that can happen to me when I get into this option position? If you don't take that worst case scenario as your risk, when you get into that option position, you're like, well, I'm going to cut it when it's down 10%. So that 10% down is what I'm going to risk in this trade. And then I'm going to size it so that don't play that way. I'm telling you, you're setting yourself up to take an outsized loss when that thing drops 90% overnight because the CEO got caught with a bunch of cocaine in the back of the car and all the rest of the company's money was tied up in that cocaine purchase. All right. You don't think it's going to happen? I guarantee you it'll happen. All right. What might happen? Everything might happen. So QCOM holding the roadmap line from the bottom. Came up shy of the 618 there. Although on the log mode, we did hit it. So could be set to go higher. If we just launch through, cruising 320. If we need the deeper retrace, if we bounce off of that, we may come on down to the 140 area. Baba, look at that. getting ripping. This will be the first day we confirm. Probably going up to 93, possibly 96, maybe even 105. Be pretty sweet. I do think that Baba's probably going to go cruising back up here, but it's going to be a while. Going to be a while. CVNA. That was a smaller time frame bounce right there. Pretty much coming into the target area yesterday and rejecting. May push on up to 165, 181 on this move, but eventually we're going to come back down to support down here. There you go. Watch for a breakout on Toyota. Right there. We need to fill that gap. I would feel better if we fill that gap right there. Potentially coming right there, breaking above that consolidation. All right. What was I talking about? FFIE. Man, that's a nasty chart. Dumpster fire territory, reverse split, another reverse split. So look at that. People don't understand reverse splits all the time. So you had 40 shares, now you have 1 share. Back here, before this one, you had 120 shares, now you've got 1 share as of today. That's 120x. And then take your 120 and multiply by 80 more. God, I can't even do that math in my head. 960. You had 960 shares. You know, basically you had 1,000 shares. Now you've got 1 share. It's 1,000x collapse in shares right there between those 3 reverse splits. That thing's going down in a blaze of glory. That's a dumpster fire. Don't touch that thing. You're going to lose money. Awesome. Good job, Don. Good job, Don. All right. DPST. I don't think I played Baba on the smaller time frame. That Baba from the 21st. Yep, right there. Cha-ching, right there. Good job. Good job if you played it. DPST looks like we're going to confirm the move higher when on the gap fill here. Close above this 100 area. Set for 129, maybe 137, maybe 162. Stuff that was declining. There weren't very many. UBXG. What the heck is it? I don't even know what the heck that is. Doesn't even have enough candles to do anything. I'd be careful. That's low. It's been low price stuff. It got a little spicy and then came right back down. That's what they do. They get spicy, then come right back down. UI. Ubiquity. I use a bunch of this equipment. And actually, my home. This is commercial Wi-Fi type gear. Funny enough, JT has Ubiquity equipment installed at his house. Anyway, that retrace and that pop. Coming up to the 1618. Might need a retrace to the roadmap line before we can do the next move. This is a bullish reversal so far. So far, but it's only 3 moves. We need a 4 that holds the roadmap line above this high. These are the things to watch for. Don't want to see this level invalidated right there. If we invalidate that level, this is probably bearish and probably going to make a lower low. We can hold the roadmap line above that and go higher. Wow, that thing fell from graces. Wow. VX6. Yeah, Powell flapping his lips. Yeah. It's 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. I don't really care what he says. Reverse split on VXX. Declining assets right there. SVXY is my way to play because it goes up when VXX and VIX go down. This has yet to break through the roadmap line. If it can, I'm looking for the bigger rally right on up in there. It's funny how even something like this has resistance right at the roadmap line, isn't it? I think it's funny. So bonus trade for the day, WAB. Beautiful setup here. Look at this. This high, this low. Yesterday was the close above the 618. Here's the target. 174. Beautiful dreamer, come back to me. All right, you want to know the statistics on this baby? Let's pull them up and go through it, shall we? Right here, right here, right now, right here, right now. All right, so we have an upside potential 10.96. Target 174.19. That's the official target. Stop below 146.66. That's the official stop. Historic win rate 81.48%. 81.5. Nice. Profit factor 2.127. That means the winners are basically twice as big as the losers. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. And that's the winners and losers in here. It's not one for one winners and losers. That's 81% of the time, and taking all the trades in there, which is 27 trades. 27 trades, 81% of the time, and adding up all the winners and all the losers, and they have a win-loss ratio 2.127 right there. Usually takes about 38 trading days. How long is that going to be? Use the handy dandy tool. That was weird. Something crazy just popped on the other window. Handy dandy tool. We're looking at 2 months, basically. Sometime in October, we could get there. Right there. Alrighty. So, bias for the day. Thanks for coming, everybody. If you found anything helpful, beneficial, give me a thumbs up. My bias for the day. I'm looking for that. We could break out today. We might break out and run. We might break to all-time highs on S&P. NQ's got a ways to go. NDX. It's got a little ways to go to get there. Nasdaq, old Nazi. Got a little ways to go. We could be breaking out, running higher. Love to see it. That's my expectation. 74.50. Right there, right there. All right, everybody. I am going to take off. I think I'm helping Jack Carter at 1 p.m. with his thing. And on Monday, I've got that Apollo thing. I threw the link in the live stream chat there. You want to register for that if you're interested. America's Darkest Hour. It's a triple threat alerts. Triple threat trader alerts right here. It's a day trade system. No trades so far today. And be careful out there. We'll see you later. All right. We'll be back. Same bat time, same bat channel, 9:15.